Title of the first section today is multiplying using FOIL. In this section, we'll multiply terms using FOIL. FOIL is an acronym where each letter stands for a word. So we have 4 letters, F, O, I, and L. The F in FOIL stands for first. The O in FOIL stands for outside. The I in FOIL stands for inside. And the L in FOIL stands for last. When multiplying binomials, which we'll do in just a minute, we'll use the acronym FOIL. We'll multiply the first terms, then the outside terms, then the inside terms, and then the last terms. First question we'll look at, in parentheses, x plus 3, and a second set of parentheses, x plus 2. When multiplying two binomials, a binomial again has 2 terms or 2 numbers and letters times another binomial. We'll use the acronym FOIL. The F again stands for first. First means we'll multiply the first term in each parentheses. So we'll multiply x times x. X times x would be x squared. The O in FOIL stands for outside. That means we'll multiply the outside term on the far left times the outside term on the far right, which will be x times 2. X times 2 would be 2x, or positive 2x. The I in FOIL stands for inside. Inside means the middle 2 terms, so we'll multiply 3 times x. 3 times x would be a positive 3x. And L in FOIL stands for last. Means we'll multiply the last number in each parentheses. In this case, it would be 3 times 2, which would be a positive 6. Multiplying using FOIL has 4 steps, so we'll have 4 terms. In most cases, you'll be able to combine like terms, which will be the middle 2 terms, to get our final answer. So the answer to this question would be x squared. Combining 2x plus 3x would be a positive 5x, and the 6 would stay the same. So our final answer after multiplying x squared plus 5x plus 6. Second question. In the first parentheses, y plus 4, and the second parentheses, y plus 5. And again, when we have 2 binomials, we'll multiply using FOIL. FOIL will basically take the first term y, multiply it by both terms in the parentheses, and we'll also take the 4 and multiply it by both terms in the parentheses. Following FOIL, the first terms, which again are the first numbers or letters in each of the 2 parentheses. Y times y would be y squared. The O in FOIL is outside. Going from the far left side to the far right side, we'll have y times 5, which is 5y. Multiplying the I in FOIL, the inside terms or middle terms. 4 times y would be 4y. And the L in FOIL, the last terms, 4 times 5, which would be 20. And again, using FOIL, we'll take the first term, multiply that twice, and we'll take the second term and multiply that twice. Again, when using FOIL, most of the time you'll be able to combine the middle 2 terms since they have the same variable and same exponent. So rewriting our answer, y squared would stay the same. 5y plus 4y would be 9y. And 20 would stay the same. So our final answer would be y squared plus 9y plus 20. And last question for this section. In parentheses, the first parentheses is a plus 3, and the second parentheses a minus 5. And again, multiplying by FOIL, we'll have 4 steps to get the correct answer. The first variable for f would be a times a. A times a would be a squared. Multiplying the outside terms, which again will be the far left all the way over to the far right. A times a negative 5 this time. A times a negative 5 would be negative 5a. And multiplying the inside terms, 3 times a would be 3a. And multiplying the last terms, 3 times a negative 5 would be negative 15. And again, when using FOIL, most of the time the middle two terms will be like terms, and you'll be able to combine those for your final answer. A squared would stay the same. Negative 5a plus 3a. Different signs, negative and positive, will end up subtracting. 5 minus 2, 5 minus 3 would be 2. The 5 is bigger, so it'll be a negative 2a. Minus 15 would stay the same. So our final answer after multiplying using FOIL, a squared minus 2a minus 15. Title of the last section today is More FOIL Questions. In this section, we'll continue to use FOIL to multiply out binomials. First question and first parentheses, 5a plus 2 times 6a minus 1. And again, we'll use FOIL, the acronym, to multiply two binomials where you have two numbers or two terms in each set of parentheses. Multiplying the first terms in each parentheses, 5a times 6a. Multiplying the numbers first, 5 times 6 would be 30, and a times a would be a squared. So 5a times 6a would be 30a squared. Multiplying the last terms, the far left side to the far right side, 5a times a negative 1. Multiplying by a negative 1 would just make it negative 5a. Multiplying the inside or middle terms, 2 times 6a. 2 times 6 would be 12, and the a would stay on to make it 12a. And multiplying the last numbers in each parentheses, positive 2 times a negative 1. When you multiply one negative, it would stay negative for negative 2. And again, when multiplying by FOIL, most of the time the middle two terms will be like terms. We can combine those for our final answer, which would be 30a squared. Negative 5a plus 12a will be the same as 12 minus 5, which would be a positive 7a minus 2. So our final answer, 30a squared plus 7a minus 2. And last question for the section. First parentheses is 3x minus 7, and second parentheses is 2x minus 5. Multiplying the first terms again, 3x times 2x. 3 times 2 would be 6, and x times x would be x squared. Multiplying the far left times the far right, the outside terms, 3x times a negative 5. 3 times a negative 5 would be negative 15, and the x will leave on for negative 15x. Multiplying the inside or middle terms, negative 7 times 2x. Negative 7 times 2 would be negative 14, and again leaving the x on, negative 14x. And the last terms, last numbers in each parentheses, negative 7 times negative 5. Multiplying a negative times a negative would be a positive, and 7 times 5 would be 35. Combining the like terms again, which are usually the middle two terms, 6x squared stays the same, minus 15x minus 14x. If you have these same signs, both minus, we can add the terms and leave it as a minus or negative. 15 plus 14 will be 29. So negative 15x minus 14x would be negative 29x plus 35. So our final answer, 6x squared minus 29x plus 35.